guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another speed build. Today I am building a fairly large family home, and this one is based on a suggestion I've had written down for probably a year, and I decided to finally go ahead and tackle, but it could be for literally any family. But what I was thinking here is this is two parents that have 3 children and are currently separated or divorced, but still living under the same roof. That was kind of the idea I was going for, but like I said, this house is built in a way and decorated in a way that it could be for literally any family you have in mind, so it doesn't have to be that, but I did imagine that for this house. So there is sleeping arrangements in the office, but of course that could also be used as when company comes over if you don't want to play by that storyline, but I thought it'd be a little bit something different. And honestly, something that happens in real life that I thought, why not represent that in The Sims? So that's what we're doing here today. I hope you guys do enjoy it. If you are interested in downloading this build, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find that by searching my origin ID, which is Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag Miss Gryphi, and there will be links to all of that in the description down below as well. Also, this house is built on the Umbrage Manor lot in Willow Creek and comes in at 119,495 simoleons. And actually, before we get any further in this speed build, I do want to mention that I did build this before the new window update came out, so there's not going to be free placing windows at all in this build because, you know, I built it before that and I liked how this came out, so I don't feel the need to go back and fiddle with it, but of course you guys can if you download this, and I will be having plenty of videos coming out in the future where I have that update. I am very excited to play around with it. I have played a little bit with it already. This video was actually supposed to come out yesterday, if this is being posted the day I think it is. Anyway, this was supposed to come out on the 3rd of September, and then the window update dropped and I was like, oh no, I gotta make a video on that. So here we are redoing the voiceover and talking about the window update as we talk through this build. I am coloring the outside now. I really wanted it to have a brick base with a paneling on the upstairs, and I did change the color a couple of different times, but it ends up being blue in the end. I also raised the terrain over by the garage that I made so it looked more realistic, that a car could drive into that garage without there being just a bulky foundation there. Like, how would you get in there? I know it's not a functional garage, we don't have functional cars, and the gurus were recently very open and transparent in a post that they made talking about the fact that they know we want cars and improved babies and farms and all of these things, and that they are going to be sharing news soon about a new expansion pack within the next couple of weeks that should be coming out later this year. But they wanted to set expectations that those things are not included in this expansion pack and that they want to do those things right. And they also said they want to be more transparent in the future. And some people have been very receptive to that post and others have been very upset about it. And I understand both sides completely. But I think it's nice to at least know ahead of time those things are not coming, because I feel like we always are like, it's gonna be babies, it's gonna be cars. I'm definitely guilty of that, but I think it's nice knowing it's not going to be that, so I don't get my expectations set too high for things. But I am very curious as to what that next expansion pack is going to be, especially if it isn't any of these highly requested things. And that's also kind of exciting because I know it's kind of mixed on what everyone felt about it, but I felt like eco lifestyle was something out of the blue I hadn't really been looking for. The trailer left a little bit to be desired, and then I really enjoy the eco lifestyle. I think it's a really cool pack. I love all the items. I think the world is cool. The whole idea is cool. Having more functionality to off the grid is awesome. I think it adds a lot of cool gameplay, a lot of cool building, and that was a pack I really enjoyed that I never would have thought to ask for. So I'm very curious as to what this new pack will be. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. But we are finally finished with the outside. There wasn't too much to say with it, or almost finished. I started doing some floor planning in here. I can't remember if I did all of it before I go outside and decorate the backyard or not, but I did place 3 cars in this house, or outside / in the garage, and I actually decorated this garage as a garage. I don't do that too often, but I really like it, so I think I'm going to do it more often now because it's also a nice space to put some skill building items that kind of look out of place in the rest of the house. But we're working on the floor plan. But what I was going to say about the 3 cars, I was imagining one of them was for each parent, like whether it's a mom and dad, 2 moms, 2 dads, what have you. There were a car for each of them. And then the car in the garage is an older car that they are letting their teenager learn to drive in, and that's going to be their car. It's like really old, and I don't know, I just felt like that car looked a little bit more outdated than the other ones. It reminds me of my first car a little bit, so that was the thought process there, but you can kind of see the floor plan has come together now, and I placed random furniture in each room to be like, okay, this is the bedroom, this is whatever room, and now we're in the backyard. I really wanted this home to feel like it had a lot of spaces for family memories, places that they could have watched their kids grow up and have all of these fun experiences, and I wanted that to be reflected in the backyard. So we do have a pool. There is also a swing set that I'm going to be adding back here, and just some places to hang out and enjoy a family time. I had a lot of fun with this backyard. I think it's a little bit different because it's kind of small and it's up on a raised section of terrain with this fence around it. So it's a little bit different than normal, and I had some fun, of course, with debug plants. They are some of my favorite things to use in the game. There's also a toddler pool back here, although I don't imagine there's a toddler in this household. You could definitely have one if you play as this family, though, or in this house. And I was thinking, maybe it was older from having when they did have toddlers, or maybe the teenager just really loves lounging in it. I think it's really cool, and I have since Seasons came out that you can lounge in that pool at whatever age. I think that's awesome. But just working on the terrain paint out front, I actually had to redo it a couple times because it keeps disappearing on me. I wonder if that glitch is ever going to be fixed. I always save things to my library when I decide to hop out of the lot, because then you can place it back down and your paint will be back if it miraculously disappeared. But lately, it's been disappearing mid-build. Like, I'm still on the lot and I see it disappear, and it's so sad. But we're inside now and we're decorating the living room. I was not sure how I wanted to make this space work. So right now it's very open concept, and I was having the living room in this little nook, but I do add some extra walls and make this into its own room a little bit later because I had so much empty space in the middle of the downstairs that I had no idea what to do with. But I did figure it out in the end. But I was trying to make this look really cozy and fun and have a little bit more color. And so I, of course, reverted to my favorite color scheme of blue and orange. And lots of blue and maybe a little bit more blue. So you're going to see that on the interior here, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. But we are in the hallway area now, which is what I did with the other section of the living room. And at first I did put the laundry in the hallway, but later on I do move that out and it ends up being in the garage that we decorate, and that space ends up just being full of bookcases instead. But we're just finishing up the living room here, adding some more bookcases. There is a bed and a cat scratch pole. I did imagine there was a cat in this house. I'm trying to remember where I put the kitty litter. I don't remember. What if I forgot it? I could have forgotten it. I'm not sure. It might be in the office. I think I actually put it in the office, although putting it in the garage would have been a good idea. Things I don't think of until I'm editing the video or voicing it over, so that happens quite a bit. But anyway, right in the entryway, there is this half wall separating off into the dining space. I really embraced the orange wood on the floor and brought that into the table as well, with a china cabinet in the corner, some plants and decorations, and then of course the Parenthood board that you can set curfews and stuff on. That's always a nice addition in family homes for that little bit of extra gameplay. Parenthood is my favorite game pack, I think. I was going to say one of my favorites, but I think it is the favorite of mine. It's the closest thing we have to Generations in The Sims 4, and it's just so good. But into the kitchen now, I do use these countertops from Jungle Adventure with the matching cabinets, and it's kind of an L-shaped kitchen. I think I get rid of the island and put a table instead. Yeah, this one right here. And I just thought it fit the space a little bit better. This is one from Base Game, actually, and it's definitely not one I use a lot, but I feel like it's something I've seen in real life in a lot of homes, a lot of stores, and staged things and photographs, so I thought it fit the space pretty well. And then over on the other wall, I decided to have this giant china cabinet from Cats and Dogs. I put some more cabinets in it because I scaled it down, so it's a little difficult to put things on display in there, and I've always wished it was just more storage anyway, so I decided to do that today. And then adding some decorations to the fridge, some kids' drawings and some notes and stuff. I think that's pretty realistic to have in a family home that has 3 kids. So that's what I ended up doing, and just cluttering up the space a little bit, trying not to make it overboard, but just having some. And then into the garage, I am adding some more storage in there. And here is the laundry that I had moved over as well. So there's going to be a fire extinguisher, that is chalkboard. There's also the Christmas tree in the corner, that this is where you could store it, as well as the Christmas decorations or the holiday decorations, so that your Sims can go ahead and click on that and alter the decorations on the outside of your house for all of the different seasons. I've always thought that that was an awesome item as well that came with seasons, because I feel like that bucket of decoration looks exactly like the bucket of decorations that my grandmother has. But over here, this is the office space that I had mentioned before. I was thinking that the Murphy bed and stuff was added in here I think it was originally for having company come to stay, just something you could tuck away and have out of the way when nobody was there. But right now, I think maybe one of the parents might be staying in there, but that's if you decide to play with that storyline. That was just the thought process I had going on while I was building this. And I think, like I said earlier, it's a pretty realistic idea, and I know personally when I do gameplay, I like things not to be perfect, for there to be hardships and to overcome things, go through some real life things that could happen in your game, and that's just something I decided to show here. I feel like I'm not explaining this well at all, but sometimes just words are hard. I feel like I say that a lot lately. I'm just getting progressively worse at doing voiceovers, and I think I'm okay with that. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. But this is the teenager's room. It's very blue, and so is the kids' room. So I guess when I said I used a lot of blue in this house, I wasn't kidding. I was being as honest about that as I could be from the beginning. So very, very blue room. I was thinking that this teenager was into skateboarding and just sports in general, but mostly skateboarding. I think I thought about adding like an easel and stuff in here, but it just didn't feel right. So yeah, I wish we had skateboarding in the game. That'd be cool. But I don't think we're going to get that. But there are some, I say but too much too. Sorry about that. We are adding some graffiti on the walls and some posters. I believe I just have that American football poster and then that one that came with university. And then in the hallway here, I have another closet and an aquarium, but I do get rid of the aquarium later on because I have a fishbowl downstairs and the aquarium just felt like out of place. I feel like if you have an aquarium, it's in a space that it's like a main focus, or it's in the main living area, or maybe you're like me and I grew up and I had 2 fish rooms in my house instead of a dining room and a formal living room. Those were fish rooms. I don't know, but they're not usually just shoved in a corner like that, or at least it didn't feel right to me. So I did get rid of that later on, and I put a cat tree there instead, since I had imagined that this family had a cat. But we are on into the kids' room now. I don't know if I imagined that these were twins or if they were just sharing a room. Not entirely sure, but I went for a very blue and red theme in here, and I had a lot of fun with that. I love this mirror from Moschino that looks like the little speech bubble, or it's still a speech bubble, but it's more like a screaming speech bubble from a comic book. I just thought that was a bit of fun, and I did put that in the red swatch to really bring more out of that color. And I don't know, it's a really weird shaped room, but I very much enjoyed that about it. Anyway, we are getting closer to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That would really help me out. You could also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'd love to have you join us. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video if you're interested in doing that as well. But if you guys have any suggestions of other houses that I can build with specific family dynamics like I had in this one, please leave those down below as well, and enjoy the screenshots. Bye, everybody.